Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. Florida's ultimate resource for everything local fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to cover your future marine forecast and your tide charts and moon phases. Everything you need to know to help keep you in the bite. All right. Before we get into this, though, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by hitting the subscribe button and joining the South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, happy Election Day. We're going to make this a quick one because the weather has really been horrible and all that. And I know everybody wants to go and, eating primetime stuff and kind of hear everybody talking about what they think, and hopefully some results trickle in. Hopefully you voted and made your voice count. All right, let's get on with the show. News is time change this past weekend, right? So for fishermen who like to fish from the morning till about noon, good for you. The sun comes up an hour earlier. If you're the afternoon guy, hey, bad for you because it's dark right now and it's 6 o'clock. All right. Also in the news, the weather is just, horrendous, right? We've got tropical storm Raphael just south of Cuba will make landfall sometime later tonight, be in the Gulf over the next several days, thus creating even, more horrible conditions for South Florida weather. Right now we are under gale force warnings. We've had tropical storm gusts come, by here in the, the Tri-County area today. All right, so let's go and hit up. The first thing we're going to talk about is a closure from the FWC. Pull this up real quick. It regards hogfish in the Atlantic and Keys area. So November 1st, a few days back, right? Southeast Atlantic, right? And Keys. Recreational harvest of hogfish is done. It will open back up May 1st. Okay, so there goes. Hogfish is regulated size. I don't know exactly what the size is. I don't really do much hog fishing. But if you are someone who goes after hogfish, it's shut down for 6 months, 7 months, something like that. All right, let's get on with life, right, folks? Let's talk a little bit about fishing. Not much going on. Like I said, the wind has been, really ridiculous. There were a few spotty days where everyone could get out last week. So let's take a look at what we got going on, and we will look. First up from Captain Alex down in Marathon, back from Alaska. He took out some young men, and they got a boatload of mangrove snapper. So here we go. In the shallows, right? Mangrove snapper don't hang out much more than, 30, 50 feet. They're in that range. They're also up in your mangroves and your shallows, right? Your grass beds and all that stuff. So this is, kind of an inshore shallow reef catch. Thanks, Alex, as always, for sending in something. Let's take a look and see what else we got. Here is Pedro. Pedro says he got skunked, but his Anna, his lady, as he likes to call her, and his buddy ended up with a couple nice sheep's head and a cubera. Live shrimp, they said. What did he say? Said couldn't find fiddler crabs, so they want live shrimp and frozen sardines. The sheep's head and the cubera hit live shrimp. Awesome. I mean, man, that's great. There's some good catches right there. That's good eatings, right? Cubera in shallow water too. This is insane. Very good. And he said these were caught in the river between Fort Pierce and Stewart. So there you go. Up a little bit north, if you're fishing inshore, hey, Pedro is a spot-on fisherman. So when it comes to it, you're going to get a fairly accurate real-time report of what's going on, what the bite is. All right. Let's see what else. I had someone who sent us in a picture, and I said, hey, I haven't seen the seas like that in a while. And he said, yeah, it's from the bridge. So sorry, just a little bit of a, fisherman humor. All right, we got somebody else doing maintenance on their boat. This is John Messinio. Yep, Yeah, you know, downtime when the wind sucks, work on a boat, right? And the last thing, we got a report from Pompano Beach. This is Emily. She sent in a picture from the Starlight. So Starlight and Fish City Pride are sister vessels that fish out of Pompano, right there on the dock where you've got, you know, like Texas Wireline and Captain Tommy and all those guys fishing out there. Anyway, Emily was gracious enough to send us a picture. So this is a drift boat out of Pompano, right? Reef. Somebody ended up, dolphin swam up, perfect, but they're getting the yellowtail, they're getting lane snapper, mangroves, some grunts, some porgies, and a little cirro mackerel. So, hey, you know, that's a great mixed bag. Obviously, this is, you know, the reef was fired up. She said this was from last Saturday. So, obviously, there were a sparse few days where the weather gave everybody a chance to get out and catch some fish, right? I really think Emily, you know, I don't get much input from commercial vessels, and I really appreciate her sending this in from the fleet going out. So, Emily, thank you. All right, so let's continue on, folks. That's what we got going on here with our fishing report. Like I said, not much going on. Many people didn't get to get out, but there still are pelagic swimming around, right? I'm seeing wahoo and kings caught over those deep reefs. Hey, Pedro, how you doing? Great to be back. Yes, thanks for the sheep's head and cubera information. There, yes, inshore, right? Like I said, I've said this for the last several weeks. The yellowtail bite during the fall tends to amp up. Swimming around with them are cirro mackerel, so you know, give it a chance. Our dolphin fishing is going to slow down if you find them. You know, if that's what you're into, go out and fish for them. You know, definitely don't not do it. I would tend to also say at this time of year, if you're going to go for mahi, try to ballyhoo. Give it a shot, right? Ballyhoo with a sea witch in front of it, a naked ballyhoo, something like that. You know, I myself, I'm an artificials guy. I love the Boone Turbo Hammer, but during this time of year, the dolphin fishing can be a little picky. So, you know, bring several options, obviously, but if it was me and I was heading out there going for mahi, I would be dropping in ballyhoo control. So that's where we're at with that, right, folks? Okay, so let's get on to it. Get on with the winter. We're gonna do this one real quick and real short tonight. Like I said, everybody's got stuff they want to do. Focus is gonna be hard. All right, so let's look at our wind. And like I said, we've got tropical storm Raphael down south, going to be heading into the Gulf over the next few days, and they're looking at landfall. Probably they were saying the eastern, the western coast of the Gulf sometime this weekend. Okay, right now. So let's take a look. Right now, we've got wind's been ripping all day, steady 20s plus, gusts up into the 30s. Right, tomorrow it's not getting any better. And like I said, let's just look at this. Right now, you've got this tropical storm, right, and Thursday it's going to be passed over Cuba. Now we're going to be getting, the wind is going to be dragging with that, right? And as it leaves, it'll pull some of the moisture with it. But it's not going to make our weather any better. So this is Thursday, right? We're still ripping. Our winds are steady, steady 20 plus going into the next couple of days because of this weather event, right? Thursday evening, it'll probably start to listen up as the storm pushes away a little bit. Friday, the same thing, starts lessening, and if you can see further out into the sea, it gives it up a little bit. The West Coast, they're getting they're getting a bunch of it as the week progresses too. Friday night, it's, as you can see, we're starting to lessen down, but we're still in the mid-teens. Winds blowing easterly all over the place, right? It's going crazy. Right here, trailing the storm come Friday night. Looks like you'll have a little bit of a break from the wind, but not much. That could go away, instantaneously. Saturday, again, mid-teens. So, I'm not sure what this is going to be. I'm sure we are going to have small craft advisories throughout the weekend into early next week. Saturday afternoon looks like the wind starts picking up again. Sunday looks like it's kicking in as this is going to be the drier air following the hurricane. So it's obviously it's going to push storms, any storms that do come by, because all the moisture will be being dragged by the hurricane. Any storms that do come by will be really booking. All right, Sunday afternoon. Monday starting to lighten up a little bit, but still heading a little bit more from the southeast following the storm still. Monday afternoon, finally, into the lower teens, not too bad. Tuesday, it's still pulling again. This is the time of year. The hurricane season tended to seem to want to get active in the later part of the season, right? So Tuesday afternoon, still pulling in the high mid-teens, right? So, and just to look at Wednesday for giggles, it's not getting any better. So it's going to be windy. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate it. The Bobber Bandit. Of course, my pleasure. That's what we're here for. I wish I had better news when it came to the weather, and I wish we could, that's just one thing we can't control. All right. So, let's look real quick at our rain. See what's the moisture is going to do, right? Because, you do get a chance to get out into the intracoastal and fish. Some folks are resorting to freshwater fishing. Other people, if you get a chance on the piers or jetties and stuff, it's rough because of the wind, but still, hey, you can get out, right? So this is tomorrow morning, right? We're going to have a lot of moisture, some storms as the tropical storm turns into a Category 1 hurricane. We're going to get the possibilities of some of the outer feeder bands and some of the wet stuff coming up, right? It's going to come here. And remember, a hurricane is not a small storm. It's, literally 90 miles between Key West and Havana, okay? So a storm reaches out well over 200 miles. So, we're here, you're talking about storm activity, the outer feeder bands, which can produce, on the spot thunderstorms, flash flooding, whatnot. Definitely, we'll be feeling it tomorrow and into Thursday and the later part of the week. All right, Thursday, there goes your hurricane, dragging all that moisture with it, right? Keep going. Like I said, it's going to pull all the moisture with it, so we will have some drier conditions come. Obviously, it looks like Thursday into Friday, it's taking all the moisture with it, which is a good thing. But looks like it's going to have some reinforcements. The wind's going to pull, and let's see if it has anything. So Saturday morning, here comes some more moisture, right? Remember, we saw the wind start to pick up again Saturday into early Sunday. So it's going to start dragging a little bit moisture, trailing that dry air. And again, Sunday, we saw the winds pick up. So here it goes, South Florida is looking like it's going to get a little bit of the wet stuff come Sunday all day. Looking at it, it'll probably pick up and actually, have some fair amount of showers in the afternoon for the Tri-County area, up north and everything. It's the same thing throughout the whole East Coast and West Coast of the state. Monday, again, in the morning, it looks like we're going to have, a bunch of moisture in the air. As you head up more north towards Daytona, it looks like some thunderstorm activity. Down south, it's just, going to be your spotty showers and stuff. Tuesday morning, offshore storms, and then in the afternoon, it picks up back to our normal, early fall pattern. Okay, so let's go on ahead and, again, for giggles, we're going to look at our waves. Right now, this is what we're looking at. Seas are in the Palm Beach area, the Tri-County area. From Palm Beach down, you're looking at, anywhere from 5 to 8 foot seas. Up north, Vero Beach, you're 10 foot plus. So when the wind, I would say, hey, this is surfing weather, but it's not really surfing weather. You got to have a west wind that creates a swell. So, if you're a surfer and you go out there, it's going to be tricky. But hey, we're not talking about surfing, right? So let's look at tomorrow's waves. There's the hurricane, right, where it's going, and we've still got some big stuff Palm Beach down, definitely still, again, solid 3 to 5, if not 4 to 6 and plus in some areas. Friday, it lets up a little bit. Okay. Friday, we're looking at, 3 to 5 as the storm pulls away and the winds let into the mid-teens. Okay. Saturday, again, it looks like it'll be, 2 to 4, 3 to 5. So Saturday might be doable for some of those bigger vessels out there. You're going to have some wind, but, it might possibly be doable. If you look down here at the color-coded chart down here on the bottom right, in this area between, the Tri-County area, we're 3 to 5. And that's this color shading, right? Down here off the, Everglades National Park, it's a little bit, more subdued where you've got these, but this is very shallow water, very protected water by all the islands and stuff down there. I can only imagine that it's going to be quite murky, just due to the wind, the constant wind pushing. So that shallow inshore fishing for your redfish and your snook and all those fun stuff, it's going to be a little bit trickier. The same thing, the whole length of the Keys is, inshore is not horribly bad, 2 foot, but once you get out onto your reef, obviously you start running into the the more sporty, gnarly weather pattern. All right. Saturday afternoon stays about the same. Into Sunday, we're picking up. You can see little shades of purple. So we're looking at 3 to 5, 4 to 6 plus in Palm Beach area, Boca Raton area. As you head a little bit further south into Miami, you're down to about that 2 to 4 area. And pardon me, as you get further offshore, the whole distance out, you're looking at 4 to 6 plus. Monday looks like we're back to that 2 to 4 area. Biscayne Bay, Everglades National Park, kind of letting up, Tampa Bay and all the bridge folks up there, up the Skyway Bridge and those piers, they might be getting a break. They're going to have that easterly wind, which will cause them, they'll have nice wind and not much to cause any trouble over there in the way of wind. Monday afternoon, same thing, still rocking and rolling out there, right? Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, Vero Beach North, same thing all the way down into Fort Lauderdale, 2 to 4, 3 to 5, easterly facing waves. Tuesday, same thing. All right, so let's go on ahead and kill that. We're going to take a look now at WindFinder, which is basically the numbers version of what we just looked at. Okay, here we go. WindFinder. Right now, WindFinder is saying we are steady, mid-20s, gusting. Like I said, gusting 30 plus. Tomorrow, same thing. And all this is just fallout from the hurricane that will be forming. Winds from the east, southeast, right? And right here you can see our moisture level. It's not very bad, but they're saying, the chance of seeing some rain is all day. And if not, you'll definitely, it's going to be cloudy. There's going to be stuff going on. Right now, they're saying our waves are 9 foot plus from the east. Tomorrow, 7 to 9 from the southeast. Thursday, again, wind still ripping, 20 plus. Friday, we saw the letdown a little bit into Saturday, and then Sunday, it'll start picking up again. So, and then as the storm pulls away, Thursday, you see where the diminishing part of the moisture in the air goes away, right? Dry, as you can see, dry down here a little bit. Chance as night falls, Saturday and Sunday. Thursday, they're still saying seas, 9 foot plus, diminishing down to 6 plus as night falls. And heading into Friday, you're still looking at, 4 to 6. Saturday, our wind speed steady in the mid to high teens, not very gusty then until Sunday. Seas, they're saying seas Saturday 4 to 6, Sunday 6 plus, and in the Monday Same thing, 4 to 6, diminishing down to 3, 2 to 4 on Tuesday, right? And heading into Wednesday. Winds early in the week, next week from the southeast, turn less easterly from the southeast, and then we're back into the low teens Tuesday, looking like, it might be a doable day for everyone. Just, watch the moisture in the sky. The clouds will be around, but by Tuesday, which is looking like a doable day, actually, you're going to have, that typical, we're back to the typical weather pattern where you see the storms in the morning, they're not doing much. You got moisture in the sky, and then the shower activity fires up in the afternoon. All right. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what NOAA is saying and blast right on through this. NOAA. All right, like I said, gale force warning in effect until Wednesday. Small craft advisory in effect. Okay, so when you see gale warning, don't go out on your boat. Be smart about it, right? Wednesday, 20 to 25, 30, 7 to 9 foot seas, occasionally to 11. 7-second period, regardless of how far apart the waves are. That's a treacherous sea, right? Thursday, again, same stuff, probably getting worse. Seas 5 to 8, occasionally to 10. Not bad. 8 foot, 7 foot, 7 seconds apart. So, coming from the southeast. Friday, 15 to 20, seas 3 to 5. So as we saw, the lessening of the wind starts on Friday with the storm getting further away, heading further west into the Gulf. Saturday, 10 to 15, seas 3 to 4, occasionally 5. Sunday, same thing, 4 foot to 5 foot. Sunday, it picks up a little bit. Saturday, it lets up. And starting earlier in the week, the wind dies down into Tuesday. So, if you're an angler that can handle some bump, some sporty conditions, Tuesday is looking like it actually might be doable. Okay. So that's enough for the weather. Let's take a look real quick at our moon phase. And again, those of you that fish by the moon, this is always important. And I tend to think, that when your moon is not fully illuminated, it's somewhere in the middle. I tend to think that's the best fishing. For bait fishermen, they like there to be no moon because bait fish come out, they're not scared. Fully illuminated moon, so your pelagics tend to be eating all night long, and it kind of, messes up the bite a little bit. Regardless, right now, we are at a waxing moon. Waxing means we are heading towards the full moon. Waning means you're heading towards the new moon, the dark side of the moon. So right now, today, 16% waxing. Here's our commercial. Let me close that out. Tomorrow, Wednesday, 24%. Thursday, 34%. Friday, 44%. Saturday, we're at the halfway mark, 55%. Sunday, 66%, sorry. Monday, 77. And Tuesday, 86. So sometime next week, Tuesday, right? Tuesday, the day that you might be able to get out. You're a few days away from the full moon. We're in fall. Wahoo are swimming around, right, folks? I did mention that they're there. The kingfish are there. The false albacore are petering off. They're actually coming in shallower. So where you're fishing for your king mackerel in that 100 to 200 foot range, and your wahoo in between, $150 and 300 off that third ledge, Tuesday would be the day. I would say if you're an average wahoo fisherman, I would say Tuesday is the day to go for it. All right, so there's our moon phase. Let's look at our tide charts. And tide charts, right, are always important if you're fishing that outflow from your inlet, right? Remember, I explain this every week, and I'll just go over it really quickly. If you fish the outflow from inlets, the water needs to be flowing out, which means your tide needs to be falling, right? Like this. If your tide is rising, that means the water's coming in. A rising tide in an inlet produces nothing. You're wasting your time. Don't fish. Don't go off the jetties and try and fish. Go somewhere else. Fish the pier, do something. If you're a land-based fisherman, if you're drifting, trolling, jigging anything outside of the inlet, trying to fish that water flow, don't fish on an incoming tide. You need to fish the falling tide. All right, so this is today, right? Tomorrow, we're about a third of the way in the incoming tide. As the hurricane gets worse, here you go. You're on an incoming tide. The outgoing tide is the afternoon fishing. If you get out there and you can do it, of course, you're fighting the elements at this point. Friday, we're at pretty much a slack tide come morning time. Remember, the sun's rising earlier nowadays, so you're getting sun at 6 o'clock, and you're getting dark at 6. So the afternoon tide would be the time to fish. If you're going against the elements, you're going to have some wind, you're going to have swells and stuff coming up over jetties. So just think about that and think about the locale where you're fishing. If you're fishing near an inlet, it makes sense too. All right, Saturday, you're at the end of the falling tide, right? So what this means is your sunrise is going to shift further this way over the next coming days. Now, remember, we said Tuesday looks like it's doable if you're not afraid and, you're able to navigate the inlet in and out safely and get out there and do it. So Tuesday, you're going to, if you're a wahoo fisherman, those low light levels, right? You've got the moon on your side. You will have the tide on your side also, because the tide will be going out. You'll have that water flow out of your inlet. Water flows out, pushes out the sediment. The little bait fish come in and eat all that stuff, and that's what drags in your good pelagic fishing when you've got water flow like that. So the elements are on the side. The only thing that isn't is the weather. It'll be a little bit bumpy come Tuesday, but hey, so yeah, like I said, if you could do it Tuesday's the day to go and do it, and try and get them wahoo, right, folks? And let's just take one quick peek. I was going to show you it's dark. I was going to show you the inlet and show you what the ocean looks like, but it's a waste of time right now. All right, folks. Short and sweet, this one. We are going to get ready and call this quits. Before we do it, though, I want to invite everyone to give a little look at the South Florida saltwater fishing merch by our sponsor, WindRider, right? Very good stuff. Quality UPF fishing shirts with gators, hoods, everything. It's got the South Florida saltwater fishing logo. Support the brand. If you get out there and you're in the market for some fishing attire, apparel, whatever you want to call it, go on ahead and give it a look. It's it's about the same price as everything else. When it comes to these shirts, they're quick drying. They keep you cool in the sun, and they're like I said, they're UPF 50 shirts. So hey, give it a look if you're interested in it. Support the brand. All right. That's it for that shameless plug. And before we sign off, folks, I just want to remind everyone, if you are on Facebook, go on ahead and check out the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. This is the Facebook group that I am the, I don't even know how to say it, the administrator of, right? I created this. This is directly correlates to this weekly fishing report and the YouTube channel and this show. This is what drives this show every week. Come Monday, hey, we know what it is. We live here and we report here. And you go through, and every Monday, everybody goes and says, hey, what'd you catch? Make a post. If you make a post, your picture is guaranteed to be showcased on the live stream on Tuesday. And also you have the chance of being the poster child, being the thumbnail on the live stream feed on the YouTube channel. Again, South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report looks like this, minus the date. Go find it, answer a couple of questions. What's your favorite fish? And are you going to follow the rules? Simple rules, no spam, no fishing, none of that crap. I mean, fishing like trying to bother people that they don't want to be with junk they don't want to be bothered. All right, folks, that about does it for this one. Hope you had fun, short and sweet. Go sit in front of the TV for the rest of the night and watch election results, have some fun. Till next Tuesday, South Florida saltwater fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.